Okay, hello, welcome to the weather update. It is 10 o'clock, and quite a storm. It's on the here on the June the 4th. In the distance, and if you haven't seen that video yet, I suggest you watch it because some very interesting cloud formations and a couple of. I got at least this lightning strike here as the self cloud was approaching, and you could see if you look closely, they're JFK. They're flying planes right into this storm. It's like whatever the reason is, they love using runway 22L no matter what, just so they can put the planes over us, even when it makes no sense. I understand planes have to land into the wind, but at this time the wind was shifting to the west with this front here, and they were still doing this. So I don't understand that. And with the high winds, kind of dangerous. You can see that plane. Imagine if you're on that plane and you're landing into this. Pretty crazy. So let's look at some of the cloud formations here that I saw. We'll look at a few more of them. And you could see here just the colors and just the. I mean, this shelf cloud was absolutely amazing, and it almost had like a little bit of a circular form to it as well, which was a bit of a concern. Maybe it could have looked like it could have developed even a tornado, perhaps. You just never know with formations like that. But quite an impressive storm. And right now, the storms are gone. The skies have cleared out. You can see some offshore. We could look at the radar. And let's go ahead and look at that. You can see, there's not really a whole lot going on. So not really much to look at the radar right now. But earlier, it was a different story. So we're going to actually go to Ventu Sky, and I'm actually going to do a little bit of a radar rewind for you to show you what happened this afternoon. So let's go to 3:40 p.m., and you can see the line has developed over New Jersey. And it actually picked up strength as it moved over the city around 4:10. When I started watching this thing and started bowing right over the city, right over Manhattan, actually. And this storm just kept on going. We go to 4:40, and now it's hitting my area, Mineola, and you can still see the line holding together. And then it starts slowing down as it reaches the island, but it's still intense. We still had, if you watched that video, you still saw lightning and heavy rain in Hicksville, and that lasted to about almost 5:30 before it started tapering off because the storms kind of slowed down. It started weakening, but still packed a punch in the western part of Suffolk there, northwest and central Suffolk, and then after that was done, it was just like basically rain after that as it made its way out east. But Nassau definitely got a good storm out of it. And we're going to see how much rainfall we got out of it and all the other stuff. Let's go take a look let's go to the storm reports first of all. That's the thing right now. There are some storm reports. Trees down in the Bronx and Mott Haven. And then, all right, we have a storm report summary that is just. Was this just set? All right, this was just released right now. Actually, 9:47, it was just released. So we have a summary here of the storm damage from this. Trees reported down. 4 trees reported down in Staten Island. 6 trees reported down in Midtown Manhattan. Hail in Astoria, Queens, 1.50-inch ping pong ball size reported. That is impressive. Ping pong ball size is it's not pea size. That's almost a golf ball size there. So that's big for our area. Thunderstorm wind gusts at LaGuardia, 45 miles an hour. Thunderstorm wind damage in Midtown Manhattan. A tree down at the intersection of 9th and 45th. Thunderstorm wind damage. Three trees reported down in Manhattan. 29 trees, oh my God, reported down in Crown Heights in Brooklyn. Wow, 29 trees down. That's insane. Large trees, so the city really got slammed by this. Large branches down, 60 to 70 mile an hour winds estimated in Brooklyn. In Mott Haven, 5 trees reported down. Scotch Plains, $half size hail, that's in New Jersey. Quarter-size hail reported in Fanwood in Union County, New Jersey. Hail of 1.25-inch. $half size hail reported in Edgewater, which is in Bergen County. 51 mile an hour wind gust at Battery Park. A 62 mile an hour wind gust at Tompkinsville. I believe that's on Staten Island. A 49 mile an hour wind gust in Mamaroneck, and a Middlesex County, Connecticut, thunderstorm wind damage with 3-inch tree limbs down and power lines down. So what an impressive day it was today. So let's go looking at some of the current observations. And right now, temperatures have dropped. So when the storms came through, excuse me, temperatures have dropped now into the mid 60s, and the humidity's dropped a little bit too. You'll see the dew points have now dropped into the low 60s compared to what they were. And they were near 70 earlier, so the air was really juicy earlier on. Let's take a look and see how much rainfall we got. Well, first we'll look at the high temperatures, and then we'll go and look at the rainfall. So highs across the island, warmer than yesterday. That was the additional fuel that we needed. And no, everybody was saying it wasn't going to happen. Everybody's putting the emphasis on yesterday. Yesterday really wasn't the active day. It was today. And all the models were saying that all you had to do was look at the models, the HRRR, and see the Cape forecast for Cape and lifted index and say, all right, the atmosphere is definitely more primed for this, especially with more humidity in the air. Long Island, highs generally in the mid-70s, weak sea breezes today, not much of a sea breeze, very weak, but of course it was hotter in Jersey still. Let's see what New Jersey is. Yep, 81 in Toms River, not surprisingly, so much hotter there. Now let's go and look at the rainfall amounts. We're going to go ahead and look at the precipitation. I'll put this back to around 1 p.m., so we'll see how much rain fell in these thunderstorms. And they dropped a pretty decent amount of rain across our area. So let's see what we got here. 0.27, a little more out in Suffolk, 0.43. So anywhere between a quarter to a half an inch of rain from these thunderstorms. Less rain, of course, for Suffolk County by the time they got out there. They weakened. More rain, though, in New Jersey. It looks like there's a 1.19 reading in Teterboro there. So some of the areas of Bergen County in New Jersey got a little more rainfall. And as far as the southern part of the line, it wasn't as strong, 0.31 in Toms River. So let's look at what the rainfall amounts were. We're going to just take a look at some sample weather across the area right now. We'll look at a couple of weather stations here. Let's get one to ground to work, and all of a sudden it doesn't want to work. All right. We'll have to reload it. Okay, so let's take a look at some of the stations here. Let's look at Carl Place. You get an idea of what we were dealing with here throughout the day. So, and I'll use this station. I'm only going to look at this station here because most of the stations were pretty much the same, all right, in regards to what happened. So you can see how the temperature started spiking right before the thunderstorms. And you can see how humid it was, too. Dew points near 70. And then thunderstorms hit, and the temperatures dropped like a rock into the mid-60s. But you notice the dew point also dropped. So it did bring a relief to the humidity, and we are going to see a little more of a relief to the humidity. However, we're still going to be dealing with the heat. So we're going to see this ridge build into the area for the weekend, which means it'll be dry. We're not going to see storms at all. We could see more of that maybe next week a little bit as we get into more of that instability. But you can still see that ridge we're going to just be under the influence of this ridge for a while, all right? And then maybe by next weekend we get out of it. But right now, that means that we're going to be above normal, and we're going to be dealing with pretty warm temperatures. So let's go look at the HRRR model now. And we'll look at the 0Z HRRR, and we'll go ahead and look at the temperatures. All right, so as we go into tomorrow, we'll be in the 60s to start, and then we get into the 80s, probably 90 in New Jersey, upper 80s, middle of the island, North Shore, South Shore, probably around 80, up 70. So there'll be a decent sea breeze on the South Shore, which is good. Sunday, a little less of a sea breeze, and that means even hotter conditions. Probably near 90 on the North Shore and the middle of the island, closer to 90. South Shore will still be cooler. If you're in Jersey, you're going to be in the mid-90s, probably going to be very hot for you. All right, and that's also going to be coupled with the humidity, too. So if we look at the dew points, you'll see they're not going to be that low. There's slight relief from the humidity, but by no means this is going to be dry. Dew points in the low to mid-60s. You're still going to feel a little bit of that humidity. But the good news on the HRRR is you see the wind barbs are from the south, so that means that there should be a sea breeze. Same thing for your Saturday. You see the wind barbs generally from the south. We do start off with sort of a westerly wind, and then the sea breeze gets going later on. So that could heat things up. And, of course, temperatures always have a habit of overperforming. So watch it wind up being 90 in Neola tomorrow. Hopefully not, but it's definitely going to get close, I think. Upper 80s, I think. Let's go look at the sky conditions here. I'm just going to focus on the weekend. Let's look at the 18Z NAM run. So we start off with these stratus clouds tomorrow, and then you can see here that they still hang on the shore because, again, the ocean temperature is still in the 50s. That's below the air temperature of the dew point, so you're going to have fog along the oceans maybe right at the beach. But other than that, we should have sunshine tomorrow. And I'm not sure about getting a nice blue sky. We did sort of have a nice blue sky this evening, so maybe there'll be a blue sky tomorrow. Who knows? Sunday, less clouds, perhaps. So maybe a few high clouds, but less of that stratus, which is indicating more of a land breeze. But I still think we'll be dealing with some cirrus. Whether we'll actually have some nice clear skies or not, this kind of air you can't hope for it. But we might tomorrow. We might. And then same thing for Sunday. There'll probably be some scattered cirrus around, but plenty of sun both days. Typical summer weather. And we're going to be dealing with the heat and the humidity a little early. Summer comes early now due to climate change. Let's go look at the Ventus sky now. And we'll go into tomorrow here, and we'll go ahead and we'll look at the Ventus sky. So I'm just going to look at the weekend right now. So this is 2 o'clock tomorrow, and you can see, there's sort of a westerly flow here. So middle of the island is probably going to be pretty hot. The only real relief is going to be right on the south shore. So you're going to have to be on the south shore. Sea breeze probably not going to be getting in that far tomorrow with this southwesterly flow, at least to start. So that's what's going to make it hotter. And you can still see, that westerly component, that could get us here in the middle of the island. So you can still see, yep. So it's the reason why it's drier is because we got a more killer west wind tomorrow. So this is showing more of a west wind, so highs could reach around 90. But if you're out east, you'll have relief, and if you're on the south shore, you'll have relief. But definitely hotter inland for sure. And really the only relief on Long Island from the heat is going to be on the south shore, south of Sunrise Highway, and then east, the eastern part of Suffolk County, where you'll get some relief. The Hamptons look nice, so that's probably a good place to go if you don't want to deal with the heat. Let's go to Sunday. Really the same deal for Sunday. Interesting. Sunday it has a stronger sea breeze, so we start off very hot, 90s. It's interesting tropical tidbits. I don't know what it is. It seems like they're just. Like when this is the same model, the HRRR, but this shows it hotter. So, like I said, I think we're gonna be I think we'll make it to 90 tomorrow in the middle of the island. Probably low 90s on the North Shore, and I think Tom's River is gonna be in the mid 90s. And the same deal for Sunday, maybe a little warmer, maybe low 90s for the middle of the island, mid 90s for the North Shore, South Shore, cooler, probably 70s in the afternoon, 80s earlier on. Both days going to be pretty similar, I think. Here's what happens later. We get a much stronger sea breeze developing on Sunday than on Saturday. It's very hard to predict whether this is going to happen or not. But if you're in Jersey, Tom's River. The name of the game is how hot is it going to get in Tom's River tomorrow? So let's see how hot is it going to get in Tom's River tomorrow? I say 93. 93. And for Sunday, I think it's going to be 96 or 97. Well, I got to pick a number, so I'm going to pick 96 for Sunday. So that's how hot I think it's going to get in Tom's River. Because, it's the hottest spot. Look at this map. Look at where the hottest part is. Right over here around Tom's River. So there you go. Well, there's a sea breeze, so we'll see what happens. But it's going to be hot. The good news is there won't be too many clouds around, so plenty of sunshine, maybe some blue sky. It's going to be hot. Here's Saturday too. Saturday, really not many clouds at all. So, so maybe if I'm crazy enough, maybe see some pine trees. I don't know, man. It's just you gotta have the blue sky to enjoy it, But it's gonna be brutal. It certainly won't be going in New Jersey, that's for sure. But maybe there'll be enough for sea breeze in Suffolk that I can somehow make it work. Maybe. But anyway, I think that's going to wrap up this weather update. It's going to be a summerish weekend, but, after the washout last weekend, I think it's going to be good for the beaches and stuff. But, that's where you got to be on the South Shore or the East End. That's where it's going to be cooler. And I'm sure that's where everybody's going to be in the middle of the island. And the North Shore are going to be kind of empty, probably. So that's it. And if you're in New Jersey, forget it. You're just going to be roasting. Yow! So that's going to wrap up this weather update. Take care and thanks for watching.